So the Horned God piece I was working on is finally finished. I'm very excited to announce that this Sunday, when we finish up the Headless Horseman auction, the next piece that is going up and will be up through the following Sunday after Thanksgiving will be the Horned God. I'm going to step out of the way, I'm going to show you this and I'll explain what's going on. So, at some point in time in our history, we were hunters, all of us. And we lived on the blood and the flesh and the milk of animals. These animals, and this symbol represents the horned god, the masculine, in its engaged role with the feminine. We have two Triskelion discs inside the shields, or discs above the piece. They are illuminated by fire. You could see that as the two of coins. This could also be the lovers. There are shapes in there that would suggest that. There's a few different shapes going on here, and yes, they are there intentionally. When you look at ruminants, especially deer in the northern hemisphere, so moose, deer, elk, any of these large ruminants, they only rut once a year, meaning mate. They mate in the fall. And the mating occurs around the time of different moon cycles. So we have these two discs present, but there's also a suggesting of a solar element. The ancients would have understood the relationships between the sun and the moon, and they would have found a great deal of value in them. When I did this piece, I wanted it to be almost saintly. Dark, bloody. It holds in its chest the shining white light from a tree in the background, and maybe you see the moon behind here. It is white, cold light, so you could think of it as the moon. It is usually around the 15th of November that we have the peak of the rut, which consequently is my birthday. So for me, it's kind of a special time of year, and a few years ago, and I still haven't done the painting the way I wanted to, but this is one version. I was out in the woods hunting, it was 2017, and I took a nap. I woke up, the sun was going down, and this image and many other were in my mind. This image speaks to me about our connection with nature and our sacred connection that requires us to be involved with nature, not just to observe her and leave her alone. It is a mistake, in my opinion, in the North American landscape. I think that helping nature is leaving her alone. The indigenous population of North America for literally thousands of years helped promote old growth by harvesting, choking young growth because they didn't have metal tools to harvest things. They had stone tools. So you can't chop down a really big oak very well with a stone tool. You'd go for a smaller oak. Right now, the woods of the Northeast part of the country are choked with overgrowth. There's way too much overgrowth, the animals can't move, and people think this is progress, and they think this is progress because unfortunately they have been severed in their connection from nature. The umbilical cord that attached them to nature destroyed things. The rituals in which we communicate with energies and consciousnesses and ancestors that go back before even we had names for them are essential components and parts to being human. It is my belief that this is as much the sacred as any idol in the Vatican. It's the same thing. And speaking of idol work, this is an icon. The technique that I used to make this is icon. I talked about it back in September when I did the rough outline for it, and then we got into other things. So today I did the second session, and with an icon, it's a drawing with drawing work over it, then gold leaf, then base painting, then oil painting, and then the finish. So this is oil on board. Obviously it's tall. I think it's 24 inches tall. I think it's 12 by 24. I could be wrong. But you know what, I'm one of those people who carries tools on me. I always have one of these. Yeah, it's 12 by 24. I was right. So I'm gonna put this up on Brand Grand Farms Instagram this Sunday night when the Headless Horseman auction finishes. This is a spiritual icon. I'm very wary to actually even sell this piece. But I'm going to, because one of the jobs of an artist is to bring an idea into consciousness, and then, just like a parent, is to let the idea go and live its life. I have many more versions of these things in my head, but this is the one I'm offering. This speaks to me deeply and profoundly. I almost don't want to part with it. I am going to do photos of this, and we will do prints as well. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for us, all of you. This Black Friday, this Christmas, if you want to see America succeed, invest in small businesses as much as possible. If you can avoid ordering it from Amazon, don't order it from Amazon. You know, get it from your local small business. And we can take care of each other. We can do this. This is possible. Personally, I absorb myself in my faith, and my faith brings me back to this point of reminding me of a time before we used language and divided up nature with words, and we lived in harmony with her. That may be an idealized version of what happened, but it is the version I choose from my heart. Thanks, guys.